is your boy, Kenny Lewis, and guess what? I'm here with my boy, Michael Finkley, on RokuTV and YouTube.
He'll always win. Why? 'Cause he's undefeated. I will make it.
If I can make it through the night, just to see a brighter side. 'Cause I've been working all my life just to make it. If I can make it through the night, just to see.
Michael Finkley Show, thanks for joining us today. Now, I always remember my grandmother, I called her Ma. I always remember Ma telling me that I was born a man, I die a man. I didn't know what she quite meant until I actually became of age as a black male in society today, realizing my true power as a black male. Now, last year, you saw a lot of negative things with dealing with black males. Exhibit A, dealing with George Floyd and the injustice against us and all that entails. But I'm telling you that it's not all negative. There are some positive black males doing some incredible things in the world today, and we have two of them with us. We have Motivational Speaker Butler II, and also Missouri's Teacher of the Year, Darrion Cockrell, with us. So don't you go away. They have incredible stories that you need to hear. Back in a moment. Coming up, Butler II. Back in a moment. On the next Michael Finkley. From all that to all life, Angelique Bates tells us about her experiences in the industry and how she's still paving the way for future entertainers. Monday.
What's up, everybody? This is Jason Claiborne, gospel recording artist, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show on Roku and YouTube.
Hey everybody, my name is Arthur Vernon R. Matthews Jr. I just wrote a new book called Family Ties, and I also want to say a special shout out to one of the kids that I mentored and has got his own TV show on Roku, Michael Finkley, and this is 100th episode. So if you guys want to really hear about this book and see what's going on, check out Mike Finkley on The Finkley Show.
Everybody, welcome back to the Michael Finkley Show. Y'all, my next guest sitting right beside me, he's a speaker, he's an author, he's an entrepreneur, and he reminds us that to make your next day your best day. Y'all, he is Butler II. Thank you so much for being with us, Brad.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's definitely an honor and a privilege.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. So let's go back to New Jersey, right, where it all began for you. You had some challenges growing up, including drugs, drug usage, poverty, violence. You were in special needs classes at the age of 10 years old. How does one make it through all of that, especially growing up as a young child?
The way that you make it through all of that is belief. I believe it starts with that. You got to have some type of belief that you are capable of doing more, that you're not limited to the labels that people place on you, and having a support group. You know, I was thankful that I'm thankful that I had my mother, my father, my sister, my grandparents that were surrounding me. And once they saw that I believed in myself, once they saw that I wasn't ready to settle, and I kept asking questions, I kept poking the bear, right? They said, okay, if he's going to keep working as hard, if he's going to keep trying and keep pushing, let me at least do my part and see what I can do. And I might not be able to do much, but if I can give him a little bit of something that helps him in his journey, then who knows how far it'll take him. And any little bit of, assistance that my family was able to give me, or encouragement that they were able to give me, that light that they were able to shine, I took it and I ran with it. The expression is you give somebody a piece of rope, what they want to do, mess around, be a cowboy. So I was like, listen, I got to take whatever is given to me and make the most of it. Like legitimately, that whole saying about You take lemons and turn it into lemonade. And I was like, yeah, well, I was taking lemons, turning into lemonade and selling it. Cause I was trying to get as much out of life as I possibly could, because I just felt like I was kind of giving the short end of the stick in the beginning as far as certain things.
Gotcha. Oh my word. I love it. But you made it through.
Absolutely.
And who are some of the major influences, again, to push you and encourage you along the way?
The major influences have got to be my mother and my father, seeing all that they went through. Like when you talked about earlier with there being drug use within the family, my mother and my father, they were, to say it in the nicest way possible, my mother and my father were professional urban pharmacists. Okay. So they
That
own,
belongs on the resume.
right,
Listen.
right. They ran 3 blocks in Jersey City, 3 entire blocks. And when they got out of the drug game, my there's only 2 ways out: either you go to jail or you get you unfortunately you get killed. And I was thankful in the sense that my father was incarcerated, so he did his bid and came out, and he went on a straight and narrow 9-to-5 job. My mom 9-to-5 job, doing their thing, but it caused some stress because they were used to making a whole bunch of money hand over fist, and now they're waiting every 2 weeks to get a check. That ain't that much. So they were struggling. And because of that stress, it led them into an addiction. So they became heroin addicts. And so they struggled with that. But my parents are very strong-willed. My family in itself is very, very strong-willed people. So they fought back and said, listen, we're not staying in this situation. We're going to get out of this. And my mom decided to go to the NA meetings. My father beat his addiction cold turkey. And, they beat that thing, and they're still with us to this day. To God be the glory for that. And, that just kind of was the thing that kind of propelled us and, kept us moving forward. It's like, okay, we beat that. So now it's just one step at a time. Where can we go from here? And that's kind of what kind of put things in motion for us.
Yeah. Gotcha. And that willingness that you speak of, it brought you to the point of finding your voice. When did you find your voice?
I'll say I officially found my voice like when it really, really clicked for me. Like I knew I had a gift for speaking. Like I didn't have stage fright. Like people get nervous and scared to get on stage, and I never did. I never had a problem with it. Like, what you want me to dance? Want me to sing? What you want to do? I'm cool with it. Whatever. And want me to act? Whatever. I can do whatever. And I never thought much of it. But it was a struggle for other people, and I didn't know that that it was a gift. I just thought it was just something that I was able to do. It was like I didn't see a big deal about it. But I remember I listened to my mother. Well, prior to that, I actually took a public speaking class, and Miss Kathy Pelosi, she just recently passed away, and I went to the celebration of her life that you just had yesterday. And she had a public speaking class, and when I came in there, she said, "Brad, I want you to, write down, what you love the most, and then come in and do a presentation." So all right, cool. So I wrote it out, whatever. And I came in the next day with some note cards and stuff. And I started reading, and I'm reading, and I'm looking down, looking up, looking down, looking up, trying to, make eye contact with people while I'm reading. And like halfway through it, I was just like, I can't do this. And I just threw the cards, threw them on the floor. And I just started talking. I said, listen, I'm from Jersey City, and this, and that, and this is what I'm. And she was like, wait a minute. She said, Brad, don't you ever do that again. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't have threw the cards all dramatic and stuff like that, and probably ruined the whole presentation. She said, no, not that. She said, Brad, don't you ever read from note cards again.
I love it.
She said, Brad, you got a gift. She's like, you don't even realize it. You got a gift for speaking. She said, I know. She said it to the class. She said, I know I told all of you in this class that you had to put your notes on note cards or on a paper or whatever. You had to read from it. She said, but Brad, I'm telling you right now, you will never in this class ever read from note cards or paper again. Anything that you have to say, any presentation that you give, you are going to give it from your heart, because you have a gift for speaking. Like that is where your talent shines. Like that is where the passion comes from. So from that point on, I said, I will never ever write a presentation, write a speech. I don't care what the teachers say. They say, oh, well, didn't you write? No, and I'm not gonna write it down. I might do a PowerPoint and put some like a little saying or quote up there. But that's about all you're gonna get, because everything's coming from the heart. Exactly. That's when I kind of was like, okay, I got a gift for this. Second situation was when my mom let me hear the presentation that she did for the NA meetings. They were basically using my mom as like a spokesperson to encourage and motivate the other people that were addicts that were recovering. And my mom would tell her story and she had it recorded and she let me listen to it. And I said, that gotta be in me. That gotta be encoded in my DNA somewhere. And that's kind of what, the two specific things that stood out for me. And I was like, yep, that's like confirmation. I gotta start making this thing work and find out what my voice is.
Gotcha. Wow. Oh, this is some good stuff. And not only do you have a heart to speak, but you're also an educational consultant as well. And you specialize with student success, retention, increasing graduation rates of your clients in which you work. Where do these hot spots come from?
Need. It just comes from the fact that these students need help in those areas. I'm not saying that the teachers and the educators aren't doing their job. They do a phenomenal job. That's not what I'm saying at all. When I come to the schools, I am not trying to teach these teachers how to teach. They went to school for that. They have an understanding of it. That's not me. What I do is I come in and I try to bridge the gap between the students and the educators so that from the student standpoint, they're able to attach their dreams to the educational system and see how, if they have lofty dreams of going to the NFL, the NBA, being a singer, a dancer, an actor, an actress, whatever it is that they might be, how they can tie their dream into their math class, how they can tie that into their English and history class, how they can tie that into social studies, how they can just tie that into all aspects of the classes that they're going to be taking, because they're gonna need it in some way, shape, or form. And as far as the educators, I'm trying to help them to understand that, listen, predominantly, most of the educators that you'll find in the school system are Caucasian females who do not come from the community that they are teaching in. And that's not necessarily a bad thing at all. But what I am saying is, let's take the time to make sure that we understand the culture that you're going to be around so that you don't do what most people do. And when they see something that they don't understand or that they're confused by, they automatically look at it as something that's negative. Because this person said, I ain't doing it instead of I'm not doing it. You automatically assume that they don't have a grasp of the American language, right? But that's not true. Sometimes that's just the word or the saying that they're most comfortable with using. Exactly. Yeah. My wife is very intelligent. My wife is a scientist. So when she chooses to write things out and do the emails and when she chooses to do it, she does. But when she's at home with me, or we're around close friends and family, she may not use the Queen's English, right? Right. She might say ain't. She might say y'all. But it doesn't mean that she's not intelligent. But if you don't take the time to get to know people, where they come from, their culture, with us being, African-American, African descent, we tend to raise our voice and have a little more passion in our voice. But we're not yelling at you. Yeah. We're not yelling at you. That's just the way that we speak. Whereas other cultures, they might not speak as loud. That would be looked at as something that's frowned upon to be that loud, in a conversation. All understandable. None of those are better than the other. Neither one is right or wrong. It's just different. So if we understand the differences, then we know how to adapt to each circumstance. We know how to adapt to each person, which is why I tell everybody it's really important for them to just to go out and seek information and knowledge, right? One of the things that I did was I went out and I got certified in William Marston's DISC assessment, right? So I can understand the 4 different personality traits. I haven't had an argument with anybody in years, because as soon as they come to me with a certain type of energy, I know how to communicate with it. Exactly. That's it. That's all it is. You mad? Cool. I'm probably going to lower the tone of my voice. You at 10, I'm probably going to take it down to 3, because you're going to keep yelling at 10. You're going to get exhausted, and I'm still speaking at 3, and it's going to make you feel uncomfortable. Like, oh, wait, maybe it is me. Why am I yelling? That part. Why am I yelling? You don't need to yell, bro. I'm right here. I'm not mad at you. Like, we can still whatever is going wrong, we can talk about it. But I can't be on the same level with you, because what that's going to turn into is a shouting match. And when you got one person that's yelling, the other person yelling, it can probably turn into something violent, because somebody is going to try to beat the other person. It's just one up. They're just trying to one up each other. Exactly. Definitely. And as you were talking, I could just see the passion
that you have for this industry in which you are a part of show through your words, as you stated before. And I'm sure that this shows within your book as well, Pain, Passion, and Purpose. Please tell us about it.
So the book Pain, Passion, Purpose, it's just about my life, right? Me growing up and my experiences, the things that led me to become the man that I am today, to go on the path of being a motivational speaker. And somehow I had this crazy idea when I was writing the book that I would introduce my mother, my father, my sister, my grandmother, introduce those characters in the beginning chapters. And then while I'm introducing those characters, I'm also getting older. So I don't know exactly how I ended up piecing it together that way, but I did. I wrote the book in 2 weeks, published it in less than 6 months. And it was like almost like it was ordained to happen. It just had to happen. So shout out to my guy, Sean Blanchard. So he's the one who taught me how to do it. Mm-hmm. And like I just immediately implemented the information that he asked me to do. And that's what turned out. And I remember writing that book while I was working overnight, doing security, just laying on the empty office floors, because I would go in the office and have my laptop and I'll be laying on the floor and I'll be typing because I didn't want anyone to walk by and see me or anything like that after I did my tours. So I'll shut off the lights and I'll just sit in a dark room and I'll just lay on the floor and I'll type on, it's just, you look back and you think about how far you've come and it's just like, wow, okay, I get it. It was all worth it.
Exactly. Worth it for our now. And so as you continue to pursue your passions, pursue your purpose, what do you want your legacy to look like?
Man, my legacy, honestly, I just want it to be where the people who, the ancestors, I guess I would say the family members that would come after me, I just want them to know that wherever it is that you start, that doesn't have to be the ending point for you. You look at my mother and my father, you look at myself, like if you got Butler in your name, listen, chances are you done dealt with some serious adversity that was supposed to break the average person. It's just is what it is. That's just what our family goes through. It's just, we just got dealt those cards. But for some reason, somehow, we all find a way to just make something out of it. Can't explain it to you. It's just almost like our family is just destined to deal with a struggle, some type of struggle. But it's almost like God blessed us in the sense where it's like, I'm going to give you these struggles so that if you listen to me and follow the path that I put you on properly, what will end up happening is you'll be in a situation where you won't really be able to wholeheartedly and like explain and reverse engineer the success in a sense. Mm-hmm. You'll only be able to give me the glory. The only thing you'll be able to say is I got to this point and I don't know what happened, but I did all that I could and God took over. He did the rest. That's it. That's it. Because I can't tell you how I got here besides the work that I, as a man, as a human being, did. But there were certain people who intervened. There were certain situations that happened. I was just like, where you come from? Where does money come from? How my wife just appear out of nowhere? Perfect for me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just crazy stuff that things you can't explain, which is why I'm a believer.
Yeah. And it shows. How can they find you on social media?
Man, the best way to find me is if you want to book me for any of the speaking engagements, any events that you have going on, it's www.bradbutler2.com, www.bradbutler2.com. All social media platforms is Brad Butler II, Brad Butler II.
All right, you heard it here. Brad, thank you for being with us, sharing your story through your wisdom and your knowledge. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Back in a moment.
Next, Missouri's Teacher of the Year, Darrion Cockrell is with us. Back in a moment.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Bill Whitehouse Jr. with Dan Chef Pound Talk, and you're watching the Michael Finkley Show on RokuTV and YouTube, baby.
flexible, and she is a multitasker. She is a wife, a mom. She is city councilwoman. Yeah.
When I was growing up, Mom worked outside the house, and so my dad was an entrepreneur. I saw him leaving early in the morning or late at nights to go meet with clients, and he was always one who told me, if you show up on time, you're late.
I just admire how she's able to not only juggle the demands of her jobs, but keep her family really first.
The outstanding thing about the Isaac family is their noble contributions to improving the quality of life for our Colombians and people all over this state.
I, Tamika Isaac, do solemnly swear.
Discharge the duties thereof, so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations and
I first ran because I saw a need, I saw a void that needed to be filled, a voice that wasn't there. And over the last several years, I feel like I've been able to be that voice.
So often as women in whatever spaces that we're in, we're often discounted because we're a mom or we're a wife or we have this career, and she's an everyday woman who shows women what excellence looks like.
She has walked the walk of being a small business person, of being a parent, of sending her kids to school.
Columbia is a great place, and we have done a lot in the last few years as far as law enforcement. But law enforcement can't do everything, nor should it do everything. We have to really expand upon the tools, technology, and community policing, investing in our communities so that law enforcement is a partner with our communities. Being a Columbia native, I've seen the way this city has grown. It's grown to the point that sometimes not everybody's been a part of that growth. I want to make sure that communities, specifically communities of color, make sure that they are part of Columbia's present and its future. I want to have a climate plan for this city that not only helps us be sustainable, but also helps provide opportunities for folks in the workforce. There are so many opportunities to take advantage of technology, green energy. I want to be the advocate for growing our city and being on the forefront, not just looking at what other cities are doing and following them, but being the leader.
If you don't have the right leadership, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities.
I think having a woman as mayor of the city of Columbia is long overdue.
I'm Tamika Isaac DEVINE, and I'm running for mayor of the city of Columbia.
Need a little motivation? Timothy Clifton is with us every week on Mondays to get your week started with a little motivation, all here on The Michael Finkley Show.
Everybody, welcome back to The Michael Finkley Show. Now, y'all, I'm so excited to talk to our next guest because y'all know how I feel about education, right? He is Missouri's Teacher of the Year 2021, Darrion Cockrell. Darrion, thank you for being with us today.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me on. Thank you.
You're very welcome, sir. You're doing some incredible things. I love educators. I am still an educator myself, transitioning from the classroom as an English teacher now to a high school counselor. But we're going to get into that story because I know that your counselor made a difference in your life. I was watching one of your former interviews and you said that you were born to fail. What did you mean by that?
I felt like, unfortunately, similar to a lot of Black males born in the inner cities of St. Louis, especially, I had nothing going for me. I was born to a drug addicted mom. My dad was already out of the picture. I had no resources or opportunity in my community. So I just felt like when I was born, there was nothing there in a positive light that was going to allow me to come out of the stuff that I was going through. Like I had nothing.
Wow. Even as a gang member, you were bounced around from foster home to foster home. But in that light, there's always light at the end of a tunnel. You had a school counselor that made a difference in your life. Please talk about that.
Oh, man. Maureen Hunnicky, my sixth grade counselor, the most amazing lady ever. She just had a heart of gold, man. And, she had just love for all kids, but especially just kids like me, because she knew the situation that we were coming from. And she just wanted to make sure, like you said, she was that guiding light to kind of help steer us in the right direction and show us that there's more to life than what you guys were going through. And she knew that for us, for kids like me, even though that we weren't as focused on our grades and stuff, the thing that was going to allow us to focus more on our grades were sports. So she created a basketball team. And this was a lady that not only did she create the basketball team, and she was the coach, but she sold our jerseys. She made our jerseys for us. She drove us to our games. She took us out to eat. She did everything that she could possibly to get a hold of us to make sure that we were successful as kids. And she took it one step farther when the state wanted to come and take me away from my family and my school. And she went to court on my behalf and fought for me to keep me in St. Louis so I could stay at that school with that foundation and to continue to grow, man.
Amazing. And my pastor preached on this a few Sundays ago. He said the power of one. It's amazing what one person can do for you to save your life, to see that better, because she saw something in you you probably didn't see in yourself at that time. And it's just amazing to see the aftermath of it now. We trust the process. The process is for us, but the results are for everyone else. And so as life went on, you changed your life around dramatically, and you found the safe haven of the career education. Why education?
You know, education it's been so good to me. And education was the thing that helped me realize there was more to life than what I was used to. And I think, you know, a part of me just wanted to pay it forward. You know, if educators can come into my life and help me see the other things that this world offers, I wanted to make sure that I provided that for other students as well. And I think I'm trying to continue to do that.
No, sir, you're not trying, you're doing. You are doing it, and you're doing it well, sir. You're Missouri's Teacher of the Year 2021. And your life, I can say, because I've been watching you, I see your life has changed. You've been on Terman Hall, you've been on CBS This Morning, ABC News, you know, Good Morning America. How has your life changed, and how are you using these different platforms to get the message across to education to the masses?
I think my life has changed because it's just opened me up to so many other opportunities and so many new things. You know, prior to this whole situation, you know, I was just teaching because I love it. And I continue to teach because I love it. I love my students. I love the impacts that I make in my school. And I love the way that I bring the community and the schools together. But with this platform, it's allowed me to meet so many other people and so many other people like me. And it's also making me realize that prior to winning Missouri Teacher of the Year, I didn't realize that there were other resources in other communities that kind of help celebrate and uplift people in my position. Black men who are educators, Black women who are educators. And I think continuing with my platform, I want to make sure that I extend that invitation out to other Black educators and show them that there's a lot of us out here. It's only 2%, but we're all working together to make sure that we can get more than 2% within this community, and that we continue to show the world that, you know, Black educators are important. We mean a lot to our students, and we want to change that whole narrative.
Oh wow, you're assisting in that process, sir. DC, Mr. DC, you're assisting in that process. You had an encounter with Chance the Rapper as well throughout this experience. Talk about that, because he's one of my favorites. Talk about that.
Bro, so that whole situation was just crazy. So the way it worked was, I was actually at the park with my family, and my principal, shout out to Jody Oliver. Jody, she called me. She said, DC, do you know who Chance the Rapper is? I'm like, yes, I know who Chance the Rapper. Do you know who Chance the Rapper is? And she was like, yeah, well, he nominated you for an award. I'm like, what? Like, what is going on? Like, how does he even know who I am? And I guess through the stuff that I was doing with my students during the pandemic, making fun videos, kind of continue to keep them engaged and keep them motivated, especially mentally, because I think there was a time when no one knew what was going on. Everyone was worried, everyone was scared. And I just wanted to make sure that I was continuing to motivate my students and just keep them going in life. You know what I mean? With something just to put a smile on their face. But I guess he got a hold of my videos and seeing what I was doing, and he nominated me and 9 other teachers around the country for the Twilight Award. And he gave me $15,000 cash for myself, which my wife took right away. And then he also gave me another $15,000 that I was able to use within my school district. I kind of shared the wealth with the other PE teachers in my district. So it was an amazing experience. He's an awesome dude. And I love how he advocates for teachers and educators all over the country.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And again, not only you're a teacher, you're also a father. So coming from a fatherless household, as a fatherless child, to being a father, what are your feelings? What do you want your son to actually know about you as he continues to grow up in this world?
Man, I just want my son to know that I'm a hardworking, loving, caring, enthusiastic go-getter. You know, I want him to know growing up that despite, you know, my shortcomings, despite all the stuff that I went through in life, and despite any kind of hurdles that he's going to have in his life, because he's going to have challenges too, that he's strong enough to get through those because I got through those. And I'm going to be here to help him every step of the way. Unlike, you know, the circumstances that happened with me, I didn't have a father to help me throughout all of this stuff. So one thing that I try to make sure that he knows every day is that I love him and that we're in this together no matter what.
All right. I love that. Oh, my word. Yes. Yes. Does education still matter?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? Education matters more than anything.
As you're answering that, say it louder so everyone can hear that, please. Thank you so much.
Education matters more than anything. It is the ship that's going to allow you to go all over the world. Like, I think throughout my life, I was always trying to be something that God didn't have planned for me. And I thought I had to be this in order to get seen, to be heard, to be appreciated. And until I just, you know, let go and let God just, you know, lead me to what my calling was, so many opportunities have come just from education. And you need to understand, I've only been in this game for 7 years. You know, I've only been a teacher in my classroom. This will be my 7th year come August. So I'm still new to this. So the fact that I won this so early and I'm still so hungry and I just want to learn as much as I can so I can just better prepare our students, our future leaders for this world. Like, bro, education is amazing and it's really helped me change my life. And I'm hoping that it continues to do that for so many people around this world.
Definitely. So what's next on your agenda?
Man, so what's next is I got a few conferences. I got school coming up in August. I got a lot of things on my plate. I got some big things in the work that I can't really talk about right now, but people will know shortly. So I'm excited about it, man.
All right. We're watching. We're watching, sir. We're watching. Educated to educator. We're watching, sir. We're definitely watching. Are you excited for your kids to come back? We know that
God,
COVID
I'm so excited
did us in.
I'm so excited for them to come back. I just can't wait to see their smiling faces. I just can't wait to just be in that gym and just be in that, you know, back in my zone. You know, it's one thing because as educators, leading, you know, towards the end of summer and school's coming back around, there's a part of our brain that's like, okay, here we go again. Let me, you know, strap on the seatbelt. But it's like once you get into that classroom, it's like your brain, it turns into something else. You're in your zone and all that, you know, kind of that stress or maybe that nervousness goes out of the window. And it's just like, we're in here. Let's do it, y'all. Let's do it. Let's grow. Let's build.
That's it. I love it. I love it. Well said. How can they find you on social media?
Oh my Lord Jesus. Mr. Crestfit 2021. Hashtag Mr. Crestfit 2021. You will find me.
All right. All right. You're looking. Thank you so much, Darrion, for being with us and telling your story. Again, congratulations. And again, everything that comes to you, you deserve it. So just embrace it.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. God bless.
Sir. You're welcome. Back in a moment.
Protector and provider, super.
Hey, what's up? It's Presley Tennant from The Voice, and you're watching The Michael Finkley Show on Roku and YouTube.
Dark and made it brighter. Wish I could be half that strong.
Calling all TRIO, Gear Up, JAG, and other college readiness organizations. Hello everybody, it's Finkley with the Finkley Experience. I am here to offer you information about our College Readiness Cohort Series. This College Readiness Series includes college applications, SAT, ACT prep, scholarships, financial aid, the mental mind state, HBCU versus PWI versus technical colleges, and so much more.
You know, this is helpful because it's actually like making me change my college plan.
Really?
If interested, visit our website, thefinkleyexperience.com, or just email us at michael@thefinkleyexperience.com. We're looking forward to working with you. On the next Michael Finkley, from all that to all life, Angelique Bates tells us about her experiences in the industry and how she's still paving the way for future entertainers. Monday. Welcome back. I do hope that you learned something from our guests today, Darrion and Brad. Thank you so much for being on and sharing your experiences and your wisdom and your words. We really appreciate you. On the next Michael Finkley, you may remember this guest from All That, the original cast of All That on Nickelodeon way back when, right? There's a reboot current day. But the original cast member, Angelique Bates, is with us, and she talks to us about things that she experienced in the industry and how she's continuing paving the way forward for others. It's another show you don't want to miss. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Michael Finkley Show. Ring the bell for notification. We'll see an email saying, hey, new content's uploaded. Please listen to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and visit our website, michaelfinkleyshow.com as well. But you have that RokuTV, right? Add the Great Awards Network to it and watch The Michael Finkley Show every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or on demand. Thank you so much for watching, and guess what? We'll see you next time. Have a good one.